What if delayed gratification is not always the answer? Because you've probably heard many times that delayed gratification is the key to saving consistently, but let's be real. You're here in this video because you're probably still far from being consistent. So in this video, I'm going to share 3 reasons why delayed gratification may not be working for you and what you can do instead. What's up guys, it's Nik. As you know, I'm a recovered shopaholic, now a money mindset coach, empowering working professionals to fund their dreams into reality. So I remember the days when I was caught in that endless cycle of retail therapy and impulsive buying. And the thing is, I knew about delayed gratification, okay? But what happened was I focused on me being the problem, me not being able to control my emotions whenever I spend, and that just made me more frustrated and not actually stuck to good habits. That's why in this video, I want to let you know that first off, you're not broken. There's nothing wrong with you. You just really need to shift your mindset from thinking that saving is a delayed gratification versus saving as a means, as tool to fast track your dreams. So if you're all about that, then make sure you like this video and subscribe to the channel because I do have a new video every single weekend. Now let's get into the video. First reason why delayed gratification may not be working for you is that it's only a temporary band-aid solution. It's basically just covering the wound, but when you take out the band-aid, there's still the wound that hasn't been healed. What I've learned from my experience in coaching several clients is that when you have a money problem, it's just a symptom of a much deeper underlying problem. And this is something that I keep talking about because we think that when we're not able to restrict ourselves, when we're not able to delay the gratification, when we keep giving in to our impulses, to our emotions, or things that we shouldn't have bought and regretted later on, we think that it's the problem of not being able to discipline ourselves. We don't have willpower, we don't have discipline. But that's only a surface level problem. Okay, if we keep trying to solve the surface level problem and we put a band-aid on it, it'll just feel good for a little bit. Like, oh yeah, I was able to stop myself from checking out. I was able to stop myself from buying that huge purchase that I realized didn't really serve me. You feel good about it because you're able to save. And then months or weeks later even, you realize that you've been depriving yourself too much. And so what happens is that you go back to your old habit. And this is something that I was super passionate about, that I talked about during my free masterclass that I had last weekend. So if you want to learn more about how it's important to attack this problem at the root cause and stop putting temporary band-aid solutions because it's not sustainable at all, let me know if you want access to that 90-minute masterclass that I just did because I was super passionate about that. All you have to do is DM me on Instagram with the code REPLAY because for me, it really shed light on the real underlying problem that I was refusing to solve. I was refusing to confront. I was refusing to deal with. And so what I did, I just did like temporary solutions like restricting myself, depriving myself for a while. And if this hasn't been working for you, this is the reason why. There's a deeper problem that needs to be identified so that you can create more sustainable money habits that feel good. You've worked so hard for your money only to receive it and then constantly feel like you're not enjoying the money that you've earned, that you've worked so hard for. So make sure to stick around till the end of this video where I share that one thing that you can do instead so that you stop focusing on delayed gratification and start feeling good about saving, feeling good about rewarding yourself consistently. Second reason why delayed gratification may not be working for you is because you have a vague objective or vague motivation. So I've heard it many times that my clients come to me is that, yeah, they know they need to save. They grew up and it's important to save. But then now that they grew up, they're like, what am I saving for? More importantly, what is worth saving up for? Sometimes we realize that there's certain habits that we don't know what's the purpose. Like, what is a clear purpose? Like, what do you truly get out of it? If you don't have a clear, concrete, specific, something that you can visualize, that is a goal, that is an objective for why you're doing a certain habit, then your brain is not going to do it consistently because your brain doesn't know the real reward. Your brain doesn't know what do you really get out of it in the long run? And I really get that so hard because sometimes we say, oh, I know it's important to save for the future. I know that it's important to save because, you want to save for an emergency, save for your security fund, save for emergencies. But sometimes we don't really fully understand how that will truly benefit us and our dreams. The problem is when we're so focused on delayed gratification, that delayed gratification becomes the goal, becomes the end goal. And who wants that? Who wants to constantly delay ourselves from gratification? And so that's why when I coach my clients, we really get deep into what is your life vision. Let's have clarity on what you truly want. That really benefits you, number one, that gets to prioritize your dreams. And when we really create that concrete path, the concrete timelines, the achievable outcomes, when saving and spending becomes something that is a means to an end goal, to maybe like you've always wanted to pursue a different job opportunity, you wanted to resign and start a business, or you wanted to do your business full-time, or you've always wanted to finally do that down payment on a property. Sometimes we know we want to do that. We know that it's a goal, but it's floating in our head. We don't really have a concrete visualization of how that's going to happen. And so what I love to do is to really map out, how can saving and spending really get you to your dream life. This is the perfect segue to share with you one of my clients who graduated from my one-on-one coaching program, and she is really an example of how she got crystal clear on what she truly wanted in her life. So now, paying off her debts or saving consistently is something that just becomes effortless, something that just becomes a means to what she really wants out of life. She mentioned that, the program has really been the best investment that she did for herself. And she shared na talagang umayos talaga yung buhay niya out of the program, because not only was she able to not anymore struggle handling her finances, but now she is crystal clear on what she needs to do next in such a way that doesn't come from fear, doesn't come from being overwhelmed, but now she is so motivated, so excited to really hit her life goals. And that's really an example of like when you get to master the mindful spending and saving habits, it really manifests in your life decisions. Now she was able to get started again with her freelancing business. Now paying off debt is something that she just has to do it. And she sees also the timelines in order to build her emergency fund. So if you're curious about how my one-on-one coaching program works, you can check out the link below in the description box and check out the amazing success stories of my clients who have funded the real desires without feeling deprived. Rather, they feel so excited because they get to envision how their dream life is so much more possible now because they have the foundation of the right spending and saving habits. Third reason why delayed gratification may not be working for you is because you're just becoming a ticking time bomb. When I say this is because you're constantly counting down when you're going to reward yourself. You're constantly counting down where you're going to reward and give in to what you've always wanted. And what happens when you explode, okay, I just need to like really control myself, deprive myself, and like really focus on delayed gratification. And I feel I do it for a few weeks. And then when I do give in, it's like a total shopping spree. And basically, nag-compensate lahat ng mga na-save ko when I suddenly explode and shop that much. It also relates with when we are working so hard in order to retire early. We're working so hard with multiple income streams and doing all the work so that we finally reach a point where we have a higher paycheck and we finally get to retire early and all of that. And what happened is that in the process of exhausting yourself, you get burnt out. And when you get burnt out, you're like, oh, I need to reward myself. What happens is you focus on satisfying negative emotions from feeling burnt out, exhausted, and so the things that you reward yourself with just feels good in the moment. It's very temporary, it's a fleeting happiness. Because what happens is spending becomes a form of an escape from the reality that you've built upon, that you created yourself. And so eventually you just become this bomb because you can't take it anymore. You can't take the pressure. You're so frustrated that you're so far away from the dreams that you've always wanted. They feel so far away. They feel like 5 years, 10 years from now. And so what can I do right now? I'll shop on things that make me feel good at the moment. You don't deserve that. You know, you deserve lasting happiness. You don't just need to settle for what's available, what's in front of you, because it satisfies your exhaustion, your stress in the moment. The problem is when we are constantly delaying gratification, we reach a breaking point. We reach a breaking point when we cannot do this anymore. We're constantly tired, drained, exhausted, and we just need an outlet. And the outlet becomes spending impulsively, spending based on emotions, spending recklessly. This is where delayed gratification becomes a problem. So now you're like, Nik, okay, I get it. Like, I get it now why delayed gratification hasn't been working for me. So now I'm gonna tell you that one thing that you can do instead so that you can break this cycle for good and create more sustainable money habits. Let's go. The one thing you can do instead that I have applied in my life and I've been doing when coaching my clients is that enjoy the now while saving up for your future self. Before I explain how this works, make sure that you comment down below and say balance is key. So I know you've made it this far in this video, and because that is an important point to really talk about in this part, is because we think that we only get to choose one thing. I deprive myself and I get to save, or I get to reward myself now, then good luck na lang sa finances ko bukas. But really, balance is key. Here are 3 ways that you can create more balance when it comes to saving and rewarding yourself. Number 1 is focus on fast-tracking the dreams that you've been delaying. Focus on the dreams that you've always wanted, but then you keep saying na parang, next time, someday. Because trust me, sometimes what you've been delaying is what you've always wanted all along. And this is something that my clients don't even realize. It's only when I start coaching them that the answers come from their own mouth. That like, oh my gosh, oo nga no, I've always wanted to live on my own, but I've been scared because of this belief around money. Oh yeah, I've always wanted to start a business, but then I feel like I'm scared I'd fail. I'm scared that I doubt myself, that I'd be able to really push through with my commitment to myself. And that's the thing that you have to identify. And when you focus on that dream, it becomes exciting. It doesn't come from a place of fear anymore when you need to pay off your debt, when you need to save up consistently. So, oh my gosh, commercial break, pinapumisan ako ng bongga because I can't open the aircon because my aircon broke down during the summer. How fun is that? So, if you see the wind in my hair because I need electric fan or else I'm gonna sweat out in this video. Okay, all right, so second way that you can do this that I love coaching my clients on is to create a healthier reward system monthly, okay? Not that you reward yourself because you had to do this thing, you had to deprive yourself, and then you can reward yourself. No, there's a way that you can reward yourself consistently that feels good, not as a weight, not as an outlet from your negative emotions, okay? You can be proactive in rewarding yourself. And this is something that my clients realize when we create a personalized financial system, is that, oh my gosh, I can actually enjoy my life without depriving myself, but I still get to commit to timelines for saving for my emergency fund, for my freedom fund, for the dreams that I've always wanted for myself, in such a way that you also get to create healthy boundaries with family obligations, healthy boundaries with how you deal with work, so that you have more time to actually spend more on things that you love, so that you actually conserve your energy and be more intentional and mindful of where you spend your energy, your time, and your money towards, so that you know every single thing that you do really contribute to the life that you've always wanted for yourself. So I actually want to insert this part right here. I just finished eating lunch. So kung may tinga ako, please don't mind it. But I really need to share this message. So I just had to. And that is, we need to also identify what is a desire versus a distraction. Because sometimes we really confuse the two. That, oh, I really want this so bad. I really feel good about it. But then we don't realize that it's just a distraction. It's just distracting us from what we truly want. Okay, and if we keep giving into distractions, that's pulling us away, that's delaying the dreams that we truly want. And you know, the desire, if you spend on your desires, if you invest in your desires, that's going to be the stepping stone for you to get closer to your dream life. Like for me, I invested in my own laptop for my own business. That was a desire. A distraction was hoarding so much skincare that I didn't need to start my business. This is what I love going deep with my clients on. It's really identifying what's possibly a distraction that's been keeping them away from what they truly desire, and how can they actually identify that desire so that they could fund those real desires that give them lasting freedom and fulfillment in life. And speaking of timelines, the third way that you can enjoy now while saving up for your future self is to really map out concrete timelines and achievable outcomes, realistic timelines with building your emergency fund and freedom fund. And this is where you can create a balance of, okay, I can make myself accountable for these timelines, but not in such a way that you pressure yourself talagang saving a huge part of your income so that you can get to that place faster, because there is really that sweet spot, the balance, okay? And that balance is really different per person depending on your income, depending on your situation, depending on your desired lifestyle, your dreams that you want to hit. It's very, very personalized. That's why when we try to like do a copy paste of the percentage budgeting method that we see on Google, or you know how one person does her expense tracking and budgeting, and then we try to apply it to our life and it doesn't really stick, it doesn't fit, is because your finances really has to be personalized. That's why it's personal finances, you know. And like with every client that I coach, every percentage of where their money goes for the expenses, for their savings, for their travel fund, for their business fund, it's very, very personalized and customized, okay? Because it has to come from a place that it is customized to your desired lifestyle. So if you find this super, super interesting, then make sure you check out this YouTube video that I had on how I funded my dream life, my version of financial freedom, so that you can get inspiration that it's really possible for you if you create that balance in your life, that you have that deep sense of contentment, that you get to reward yourself now while also having the clarity and peace of mind that you are also securing your financial stability in the now and in the future. So I'll see you there in that video.